So, in the 2000s, there was a plethora of young adult movies. This, of course, started with the beloved octilogy, is that the word, of Harry Potter. Sorcerer's Stone through Deathly Hallows Part 2, all fantastic movies, even The Goblet of Fire, which most people really dislike. And, of course, after that, in 2011 came the successor, The Hunger Games. Yeah, your Divergent series, you had your Maze Runner, you had all these movies that just people just scared. It was the era for all this stuff. I specifically love the Hunger Games, all four of them, and the first two Divergent movies. The second one is better than the first. But what happens when years later a successor, I guess, a spiritual successor, prequel, whatever, gets released to the Hunger Games? That's right. Ballads of Songbirds and Fire. Oof. 2-disc set. Blu-ray, DVD. I dislike this new movie. This movie, which features the rise of, I can't even remember his name, Snow to power to becoming the leader of the districts, from being a little rich prick to becoming a peacekeeper for District 12, which Katniss is born and unfortunately has to deal with in the first movie, in the movies. Okay, let's get the positives out of the way for this one. I watched this on Blu-ray, of course. Visually stunning. They do the costumes well. You get the arena the arena is fine, not great, fine, I guess. I don't know. It's passable. The music is good. The country music actually fits in with the tone of how Lucy Gray Bard, B-A-I-R-D, is feeling. So, yeah, I got it. I have to commend them for that. And the portrayal of Tom Hired, I think, whatever his name is, as a little kind of a prickish Snow. Really good. You could see him gradually decline from being a prick to one who's concerned about his tribute, and eventually how he gets demoted to being 20 years as a peacekeeper. And it was interesting to see how the tributes in the 60 years before, how they are relegated to a zoo. Yeah, they're treated less than human. They're almost treated like animals. That part was a little, ooh. That part just like, yeah. Everything else, though, okay. Those are the positives. The negatives and just another positive. Suzanne Collins, the author, being an executive producer. I like that. I like when the author has word in the film's development, so you can't deny that. However, that's it. It seemed like a blockbuster in the beginning because you have the Hunger Games going on in the very beginning, and, it's like you're acting like, okay, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be relating up to this big finale and everything else. But then it just becomes a mess. It takes place inside this arena. It doesn't feel as threatening because there was no imminent danger from the outside forces like the mutations or the tracker jackers or spinning the stage around. None of that was in there. I would like to have seen that, but no, it just takes place inside some circular arena, and that just felt sad. Rachel Ziegler, who plays Lucy, she's okay, I guess. Nah, it didn't convince me. All the other characters were okay. Like, the only other character that started out was Viola Davis, who had this crazy hairstyle. That was okay, I guess. But then we get sent. It's for an hour and 35 minutes. The anticipation builds and builds and builds as the games go on and on and on. I'm like, all right, we're getting somewhere. And just when you think like it's over, I was watching. I'm like, we're only an hour and 35 minutes in this 2-hour, 37-minute movie. Thumbs down. That's stupid. It felt like it should have been honestly split into 2 parts. 2 dang parts, man. There's people complain about like how the finales are set into 2 parts. This movie should have been 2. And the arena and the Hunger Games should have been the climax. for the first movie. But then we see Snow, who gets demoted, and we see him become a peacekeeper. Things got interesting there as eventually we see him is like slowly start to see the decline and what's right and what's wrong. But towards the end, everything got so dang rushed. I'm like, oh, it's like, yeah, they should have devoted more time to him starting to see like all the rebellions and the killing and everything else. It was not explored enough. I'm like, you can't have more than this. I mean, it's like, yeah, he goes against his own friend because he doesn't want to hang for helping incite rebellion against the Capitol. And it just stunk, man. I don't like it. That part was all right. And it's like, I wanted to see more of his way, how he becomes I want to see him become more of a, how he becomes morally corrupt as he's starting to see how people are starting to rebel and things like that. And it just didn't work out. I hated it. And then eventually at the end, I'm like, that's it? It's like he doesn't ascend to power or anything. We could get like a footage of Donald Sutherland being the eventually him rising to power. It's like, no. It just ends. It's just like, it's like going well, and then it's like it's going well, and then just thinking that, and then it just drops down to the Mariana Trench of stupidity. So much potential to start to get a whole new generation of fans, but it just stunk towards the end. Just rent it from the library at this point. The movie just sucks, okay? I'm giving it a 4. Ultimately, I'm just going to give The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, a 4 out of 10. Thumbs down.